continuing coverage now on the Yahoo data breach and the investigation. For more, we're joined now by CNET's Laura Hautala. Laura, thanks for joining us. Is this the first time that active Russian officials have been charged with computer hacking in the United States?
It's very rare for the United States to indict hackers in another country. It's only happened about 4 or 5 other times with countries throughout the world. So this is an unusual event.
So what we have are 2 government agents from Russia who hired 2 hackers who are not part of the government. So we have 4 people that we're talking about. Those 2 that were working for the government, I understand they're working for the FSB, which used to be called the KGB, a spy agency. And one of the people is in custody in Canada, but that was one of the hackers, right? So how are we going to round up the other 3 outstanding suspects?
Well, it's up to the extradition process to see if we can get them to the United States. Other hackers from government agencies who've been indicted in countries like Iran, we haven't managed to get them to the United States. So it's possible that we might not see a trial over these charges with those 3 people who remain at large.
The targets of the hacking were 500 million Yahoo account customers, but at the same time, the indictments mentioned that they were going after journalists and banking executives and other people. Did all of these people just happen to have Yahoo accounts, or did they target people and then go after Yahoo accounts in addition to that?
Well, the Yahoo accounts would have been a great way to start hacking people in other organizations. If, for example, somebody reused their password from Yahoo on a work account, or if they were resetting their password with their Yahoo account, then you could use that Yahoo information to hack people in other places. So it's really not just Yahoo Mail that was at risk with this hack. It's a whole host of other information that could be tied into that account.
So this gets into what we need to do to protect ourselves from hackers, which is don't use the same password for different accounts and to continually update those passwords, correct?
That's correct. Another thing you can do is to use something called 2-factor authentication. That will do something like send an extra code to your cell phone that you type in after you've entered your password. That way, even if a hacker has your password, they won't be able to log into your account.
What jumps out at you? You're at CNET, you're into the technology world. What jumps out at you about this case in particular?
Well, it's a really interesting case because, for one thing, we hardly ever hear about who is behind a hack. Also, this was, until we heard about an even larger hack at Yahoo, the biggest data breach that we had heard about. So to find out now that we have the information on who is behind it is really interesting. Also, the FSB was named as an agency involved in hacking the Democratic National Committee earlier this year. So there's a lot of moving pieces here.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. We now know for the first time that it was Russian hackers who were involved in the Yahoo breach. And do we know if there's any connection between what happened with the DNC and this activity against Yahoo?
We don't know exactly. As I mentioned, the same agency was named as being involved in the DNC hack, but we don't know if they used the Yahoo information to get passwords or usernames for the people involved in those hacks. It's possible, but we don't know for sure right now.
All right, a lot more to come out of this investigation. We'll find out if they can catch those other 3 suspects. Laura Hautala from CNET, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.